from Chaz because it's so catchy.
All right. We're live.
All right, let's try it out.
All right.
This one's in honor of Chaz.
In honor of
This is
Chaz.
Chaz.
Can I
This
do
is the
like
community
right
card.
then down? All right. So I'm trying to get in my head straight the names of the different leg entanglements, right? So I've been really going over like the in-betweens and which leg entanglements lead to which leg entanglements, right? So we're gonna start in this nice single leg X, right? So from single leg X, right, where we have the foot like pushing away on the inside of the hip or on the ribs, right? I've got my knee able to frame away if he tries to come into me. My foot is hidden on the inside, right? And I'm really clamping down on this leg here, right? We could either, from single leg X, we could move into our 70-30, right? Where it's like a 50-50, but it's not. Right? 50-50 is with this leg here where it's equal, right? With this slight inequality here, we call this 70-30. Rich, does this have any other names that you know of?
That is a.
Outside.
What do you want to call it?
70-30.
70-30.
I don't know.
Okay.
60-40?
Outside.
Is one leg only 30%
I don't know. But
of the body?
to differentiate
Because
from
I thought 50% was both legs.
this is 50-50, right? But since we're not both like this otherwise would be a 50-50, but it's weird, no one does this,
I don't like that
right?
one.
So being here, 70-30.
All right.
All right, it's settled.
Might be 75-25.
Maybe.
I don't know if you count each leg as 25% of the body.
You do like 55-45.
Yeah,
Doesn't really matter, right? So back to single leg X. From single leg X, we can also move into, I think this is outside Ashi. Yeah? Confirm?
Yeah. Okay.
Great. Outside Ashi, right? So outside
Or it's outside Sankaku.
Sankaku.
Yeah, this is because you're triangling your leg, so it is a triangle. It's Sankaku.
Yes, if you triangle your leg.
I think that's is that inside Sankaku?
This is outside of
Well, the foot is outside, but your triangle's inside.
Japanese is a difficult language.
I don't know. Let me do my date break.
Let's do
Wait,
Brazilian.
does the inside refer to my leg or his leg?
I don't know. It's always a question, isn't it?
Alright, this is what I call this one 70-30. Anyway, right here, outside Ashi, right? Because the foot is on the outside, right? If I pull this leg across, now we're in inside Ashi, right? Because we have access to the inside heel hook, right? Which is also called, I believe, 411 or saddle.
Saddle, honey hole,
Honey hole.
411.
Or is 411 outside? Or is 411 inside?
I mean, all of those, like what you're in right now, I would say is the same position, regardless of where his leg is. Because you're trying, his leg could change from hip to hip. That just means you have an inside versus an outside heel. But your leg entanglement is actually the same no matter what.
But if his
If you
leg
switch
is on
your
the other
feet over,
side,
that's
it's
an
different.
outside somehow, right? If you switch your feet to the outside, I would say that's an outside triangle.
This is 50-50.
No, it's not. This other leg is, oh, that's 50-50. But it's also, I mean, if you want to use the 10-planet nomenclature, right, that's kind of like 50, not 10-planet, but
DDS.
that's not the, call it 50-50, that's fine.
50-50 here. I'm calling this inside Ashi, or if it's triangled, inside Sankaku. Right? From this inside Ashi, right? I'm saying it's inside because we have access to the inside heel hook here, right? Rich is saying that it's inside because my legs are on the inside. We'll figure this out at some point. But for now, right? Inside refers to which heel hook you have access to, right? So if we're over with this foot across here, we have access to the outside heel hook. So in my head at least, I'm categorizing it as an outside Sankaku or Ashi, right? Ashi being the leg entanglement, Sankaku if we have this triangle with our legs here. All right, so back to single leg X. All right, so from single leg X, we can pull this foot over the hip, and now I'm in 70-30. If I pull this foot across, I'm in 50-50, right? Because it's equal, right? If from here I pull what's this verb? I go over his leg here and under his far leg, right? Now we're in the saddle, we're inside Ashi, or outside ashi. Alright, also from inside ashi, sorry, we can go into our leg lace where I control the far leg, pull it across the bottom leg, and now we can attack and control here, which is nice. Single leg X. Single leg X. I can go to 70-30. Alright. I can pull this across and go into outside ashi. Let this come across. Inside ashi. This comes back across 50-50. From here, I can go into knee bar. That's fine. 50. I can also go into knee bar from our 70-30. Right, in 70-30, I usually try and keep this heel lifted up off the mat. Like I like to hook here, because if I allow him to get his knee to the floor on this side, right? So, can you come out? Right, 70-30 is upside down leg drag, right? So in order, if I'm in this 70-30 position, I usually like to keep this up. That way, if he starts to come up, I can keep him from pulling his leg back and get his knee on the floor. This also opens us up to rotating around the leg here. We have knee bars here, or if I continue rotating, we'll find ourselves with the leg on the other side, back in saddle, inside ashi. Another option from our single leg X here is to go into a pass, right? So this one usually involves escaping the leg here, right, and knee cutting. From the knee cut, we can back step and go into our leg lace or our inside ashi on the other side. I like that transition. So again, we're in single leg X, right? Sometimes I'll hook, pull this foot out, drive this knee across, right? He'll usually go for the underhook, right? As long as this knee is behind my hip and not in front blocking me, I can back step, shelf the leg here, and start pulling the legs across and setting on my leg lace. Also rotate around and start looking at toe holds here. Right, or our back step can lead us into our knee bar positions where we're resting on top of a person and starting to isolate the leg forward. If we go into our outside ashi, this is also a good opportunity for heel hooks or our toe holds. I think I'm fine. So as we rotate over,
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
and then we can continue the rotation. Back to the inside ashi or leg lace. I don't think I'm forgetting any other like routines.
Trying to think as well.
7-3. Outside. Inside.
That's nasty. That's so nasty.
So you're going to start in the single leg X.
Okay.
70-30. 70-30?
Is that it?
No, this is like a bad 50-50. Good. Now you're gonna go into outside ashi. Good. And now pull across into inside ashi. Good. And now go into 50-50. Good. 70-30. So when you're moving the leg across, right? So usually when I'm on a leg here, I like to be like really securing it, right? Making sure that it can't go anywhere outside of this zone basically. When I'm pulling it across, right? I need to start sitting up so that I have my weight on this leg, but when I pull it across, I like to straighten out, pull across here, and then I want to get my body up and over here. Alright, so the leg stays secure. So if you start like trying to scoot out or like pull me out, I'm gonna stay attached here.
Yeah.
And so if I want to go pull this across, straighten my body, and then I want to sit back up into it. Right. So my ribs are blocking this leg from straightening it back up.
It's really uncomfortable.
Yeah. Right. As opposed to me being laying back here.
Yeah, it's more comfortable.
So use your wriglets. Starting some more guys. Good. 7:30. Make sure it's like good. And then outside ashi. And sit up into it. Good. Alright, now this isn't going anywhere. Good. And then inside ashi. Good. Really good. Good. And leg release. Go ahead and finish. Tap. Reset. Single leg X. Good. This time you're going to come up to pass. Good. And back step into inside.
Cool. Long finish.
Same thing. Come up to pass. This time when you back step, I want you to set up the knee bar position where you're sitting on my belly. Shelf the knee. Really use your no. Use your right. There you go. Good. Control this as you fall. Oh, never mind. Good. So, keep the foot under your head, or yeah, you could lat it. If she needs more. There you go. Oh yeah, we also have our straight ankle locks here. Getting low. Alright, and then here when they're coming up to hand fight, and keep us from pulling back, that's when we can start coming up to pass. Alright, so before I sit, I like to control the front leg. And I get nice and deep.
You know something I noticed about that back step you do right there, especially when you have that knee cut pass. What I'm trying to do, as the person on bottom, is I want to knee you to send you forward so I can take your back.
Yeah.
So right when I do that, you're stepping behind me, right? So it's even on that level. You could, like, as a person on bottom, I have to be cognizant of, like, if I do that in the match, what if the person expects that and back steps and put me in a nasty leg lace, you know? So as a person on bottom, it's really important to note, I think.
Do you feel like you can use this foot to come in? You kind of just put it where I would want it.
Well, that's where I felt like saving the most is to get this something in between my heel and your arm, you know?
To put it in the leg lace? No.
Well, no, meaning like this. Like if I'm here, right, you're about to heel hook me, and I'm scared of getting heel hooked, I'm gonna make a stupid mistake and like try to break it and cover it like this.
If I have, hold on, let's rotate. So, if I have my arms, if I'm like up on this leg here, right, I've got a nice bend and I lock it here, you should probably tap.
Yeah, exactly.
But before that point, right, if you can use this outside leg to get underneath here and start opening up this space, because once you're able to get your knee kind of out from being in my pocket here, you're going to be fine.
So take this leg, kind of get me a hook,
and start pulling this leg out.
Oh, I might have someone in like a knee cut or something.
So my goal here is the person in this inside ashi here is going to be, I need to control this leg.
Okay.
Alright, so that's why I like to pull it across here, because you're going to be really trying to fight that out. Can you do inside ashi?
You want to do it?
Inside ashi. Alright, so usually if I have this leg free, I'm going to be trying to get space for this leg that's caught. I want to get it hidden here. Because once I have my foot hidden behind your leg, I'm not worried about you tearing my leg off.
Right.
If you've got my foot like locked in, like let's say you're sitting up and you've got this heel hook happening here, I need to address this with my hands. I need to hand fight here until I can either slip my heel out or, slip the heel out.
Okay.
Right, but I also need to make sure that the hand fighting also keeps you from pulling back on the heel. Right, so I don't want to be, if you have it locked up, I don't want to, this is not the time to open up this space here.
Right.
Because you're going to break my knee before I'm able to get it back.
Right there.
Yeah. But, so if you're up and heel hooking, and you like have the gable grip, and you're really determined to not let this guy win, right, I can at least keep him from being able to extend. Hopefully, then I can start kicking things out. And then from here, if I can wiggle it out.
Roberto Jimenez, you're right there.
Yeah. Alright, so if I have this ankle like wrapped like a guillotine, I can either start coming back on the toes and trying to expose this here, or I could attack the straight. Right? If I have the legs scooped, like let's say I was in playing a single leg X guard and I got him onto his butt. Here, I'm not going to have the same attacks, but that's usually when I try and rotate around the leg. And I want to start keep getting my hips around until my knee is able to shelf this leg level. Shelving being, I have this knee resting on somewhere on the thigh. Whoop.
so weird. I'd much rather be finished by like a leg lace than a heel hook 10 times out of 10.
Because leg laces really just hurt.
Yeah, exactly. Or a straight ankle lock, even though those hurt a lot more.
And here we can still go after this. We just gotta be mindful of what's going on with this leg, right? If he's being super active with it, I probably won't let it out of my pocket here, right? But if I feel like I have an opportunity to pull this underneath, that'll keep the leg trapped, and now this heel is exposed, and I can finish. In the leg lace, one thing I'm also very mindful of.
Like this?
One thing I'm mindful of is what he's doing with his hips, right? A lot of people like to try and go belly down so that they can push their knee to the far side. Kind of, no, just don't do it. Why?
So, belly down, sorry.
Belly down and push this way. All the way over. There you go. Alright, that's why. Alright, so we need to be very proactive about keeping him from elevating his hip off the floor, and more importantly, if his hip starts coming like into us, we need to redirect that so that he goes back. Alright, so same thing. Alright, so if I'm in this leg lace here, I can use my right leg to almost stomp down on his hips if he starts trying to turn belly down. Or, right, if he manages to turn and he's driving, I'm going to put his hips back down on the floor. Alright, and then I'm going to continue my attack, making sure I keep good control over this top leg. Right, I don't want to get it out. I don't want to let it out of my armpit here. Right? I'm also very mindful of what's going on with this knee. If it starts to slip out, I've lost the position. I need to start thinking like scramble things, right? Try to get back on top, reestablish dominance, yada yada. But if we can keep control over that knee, we can keep him locked into the position. Right? So we're here, right? And just making sure that he doesn't slip that way. So I can pinch, I can push down, and I can keep good control over this leg. That's going to keep everything locked in, right? If his foot is stuck here, he's not going to be able to pull it out. Right? So if he tries to come up, I can control his hips. And just make sure they stay on the ground.
Ow. Yeah, it just felt like weird right there for a second.
Yeah, so usually if I'm here, right, I get into the single leg X, I'm going to try and go after the foot, right? If I can break the foot, great. Sometimes, right, he'll reach up, he'll try and hold on to my posture or whatever so I can't pull back, great. He's inviting me to pass his guard. I'm going to re-lock him so he's now stuck with his decision, right? Pull this leg out, drive, and find that leg so that we can go into that leg lace. Right, or be prepared to, as we go back and he grabs, all right, we come up, back step through, gather up his leg, and we can start like facing away from him, putting some good weight into his belly, getting locked up here, attaching our hands to our legs, and now I can kind of stay perched up here and start attacking his legs, right? But I can also, at will, decide to turn and go back to attacking our leg lace or just the heel.
Ooh. Man, we must have gotten heavier since Friday.
more. My goal being to drive this knee around to the floor here, right? At the same time, I want to be able to control this knee, and I'm going to start pushing myself back, keeping my hips tight, and I can either end up on top of them here, right, where we can attack again the toe holds and knee bars, or sit through like this. Not like that one. Right, it's also good to drill, I think we did this earlier, where a person on top tries to get to their feet. Alright, so usually I want to wait until he starts to really posture up. So good, right? So as he starts to turn into me, this is the best time to kind of give him a little bit more energy than he was anticipating, right? Going with that flow there, but turning his hip out and then using that to take him down here. All right, so he comes up, really focusing on that turn. If he comes up, right, and he's well balanced, and we can't turn out, that's when we drop the foot, and we can start playing that gathering game, where we still end up in our leg lace or our inside option. Am I missing anything?
Lots.
Yeah.
I disagree.
I just like those 5 basic positions: single leg X, 50-50, the 2 versions of 50-50. Right. The way I have it in my brain is like a Punnett square. Right. We've got 2 variables. Right. Where his leg is, either on this side of my body, or this side of my body, and we have the variables of our own legs. This side of his hip versus here, right, underneath in this like ashi thing, right? So the 50-50 is leg over, my leg over, right? 70-30 involves pulling his leg over here, outside. Ashi, I change my legs inside involves where his leg is. And then all the branching things from there. I think that's been like the hardest thing for me, is kind of putting names on things and getting familiar with like how things change, right? So this is at least like a simplified version of it, right? So you can help navigate yourself around. But this inside position I think is really valuable for this heel hook, right? The inside heel hook is super, super powerful. Having this outside position here gives us a lot of control over the hips here, and he's very, very compromised. And it also opens up really good toe holds, but there are heel hooks here as well. But this is really good. Which of these 4, which do you think has the most value? Between 50-50, 70-30, outside ashi, inside ashi?
What do I think is the most?
Mm-hmm.
It's the situation.
Rolling.
I think I like that. I like the double leg ashi where you have inside sankaku with that leg across. Yeah, that's my favorite. Well, yeah, but now that's like a cross. But just that when you have control, you have inside sankaku with control.
Over here.
Yeah.
But not necessarily the laced up version.
I like the laced up version.
It's good.
That's usually my go-to.
Do you usually keep your hands like here, or are you like down here? Do you control the feet? Does it vary person to person, case to case?
If I can control that leg just even for a little bit, just enough to set hurt the heel, I don't need to have complete control, right? Like, you could let go of that now, and then you're gonna be on control, right? It's just that, I like to hold that so that they can't get away.
So you like slide down-ish and then get on the heel.
Yeah.
I feel like his legs are very straight.
I feel the most compromised on the one arm on the other
Outside?
side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
That-
my
I-
hip feels broken.
Feels
down.
the worst.
Do you know what I mean? It's hard to get into though.
I kind of like this inside ashi here because there are so many different places that we can go to. You still have toe holds here. You got knee bars. We can come up into leg drag. I didn't discuss that. The leg lace, one of my favorite positions. Well, so there's a lot of options here. This, I feel like if we can get here in this outside ashi, I feel like I have a little bit less control here. I
Because you don't have the distance control, you don't have the far leg anymore.
Yeah, that makes sense. I have trouble holding onto this knee, but I've been working on trying to sit up into it like an omoplata.
Yeah, I'm trying to work my way out of it right now. I'm trying to think of it, and like the amount of time it would take for me to like open this up and get this knee out of your knee line, I'm already pretty compromised, you know.
Yeah.
Given the position of me having to turn over and my hip is all like I'm like this, like twister almost. You know what I mean? I'm being pulled apart just after escape.
I think it's a leg omoplata.
A leg omoplata.
That's what I think of.
Yeah, okay. I feel that. I can feel that. Because you got the same kind of like leg. Yeah, you got the same kind of.
This is
Yeah.
the elbow. I keep this tucked
And
in.
then this is my shoulder.
And use my body to keep it nice and snug. And then
Way down. Oh yeah. Okay. Good shot.
like that.
I think that's, it's tough to get out of, but it's tough to get into.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's easy, I mean, it's relatively easy to walk that like right across the hip.
I think it's pretty good for when we're in single leg X connecting, especially standing. Alright, so if I get here and he like turns away, like that way, yeah, I can use my leg to help feed it in. Now this strong heel hook position. Oh, that's a good one. Right, so yeah, it gets weird when, you know, we look beyond like sitting single leg X, right? So if now we're here, right? I think it's easier to get this leg like over and across here, right? Compared to when we were sitting, right? Especially because I can really kick him away, right? And make his weight go far away, which will make this leg easier to pull across.
Oh yeah.
So come back up.
I know when my knee is compromised in this position.
And then back up. Back up. That's my favorite. Alright, that's all I have for today. I don't know how to turn this thing off. But if anyone has any questions, leave comments.
DM.
Or message me directly. Alright. I don't know how to turn this off. Bye everyone.
Later, skaters. Right.